Hey guys, this video is a continuation of the previous one. So in the previous video I made an input-output table for the absolute value of x. So in this video, and put the points on GeoGebra. So in this video we're going to create our translated values. So we're going to, in the spreadsheet, we're going to translate our absolute value function down 8, and then we're going to create the points to show that number pattern get translated 8 units down. And then we'll write the expression and put it in the input of GeoGebra. So looking at my parent function here, I didn't put the actual expression that will be the lines that connect these points. So in the input bar, since this is only the absolute value of x, I'm just going to type in here ABS of x with parentheses and hit enter, and it creates that curve for us. So now we want to translate this function 8 units down. So each one of these points are now going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units down. So that point is going to move here. This point will then move 1 down, 1 down, 1 down, and so forth, right? So what we're really doing to these points to translate vertically is we're adding or subtracting to the output values of each point, and that's what makes the points then move up or down, right? We're not affecting the input. We're not moving the points horizontally, which affects our input, but we're affecting the output, which then will move the graph up and down. So in the C column here of our spreadsheet, I'm just going to take these output values. So if we put in a -5, which means we go over to -5, we get out of 5. But since I want to translate that point 8 units down, I'm just going to take that output of 5 and subtract 8 from it. So that should end us up at -3, right? 8 units down. So over here in this C1 cell, I'm going to say that this cell is equal to this output value, B1, minus 8. Since I'm going to move the graph down 8, I'm going to subtract 8 from the output value. So there's our -3. And now I'm going to extend our pattern, which then just took these outputs and subtracted 8 from them. Okay, so now we have our new translated outputs. So what we want to do is create our points now that have our normal inputs, so the -5 to 5, but now we're going to take those outputs that subtracted 8 from our parent function. Okay, so A column is our inputs. If you hold control down, so I have my A, I'm going to click on A to select the A column. I'm going to hold control on my keyboard, and I'm going to hit C. And now both of my input and output columns are selected. And so just like before, I'm going to click on the Create List of Points tool. Make sure that my points are correct. Okay, put in a -5, now we're getting out a -3 instead of a +5. Put in a -4, now we're getting out a -4 instead of a +4. So these are correct, so I'm going to hit create. And now, let's take a look and see if that graph, hey, check that out. They just moved 8 units down, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now our question is, what is the expression that we put in the input bar so that we can get this absolute value graph to go through these new translated points? And if you think about it, all that we did was take the absolute value of our x's, the absolute values from -5 to 5, and subtracted 8 from those. So really our expression that's going to go into the input bar is just going to be the absolute value of x. And if I hit enter right now, it would just give us that parent function. We already have it graphed. But now I'm just going to subtract 8 from those outputs. So when I hit enter, now I have my absolute value of x minus 8, which just has you evaluate the absolute value of your input and then subtract 8 from it, right? So that is how we can move this graph down 8.